Hi everybody, welcome back to another ROG Ally video, and in this one we're going to be looking at Assetto Corsa, the driving sim, and asking and hopefully answering the question about is it a good game to play on the ROG Ally, and does it run well as well. Unfortunately, if you're watching this video and you've got a Steam Deck, at the moment anyway, there's no easy way to get Assetto Corsa working. You can't just install it via Steam and it'll work. I think probably because it has this way of working where it has like a launcher where you set up all the factors of what you want in terms of a race, and then it launches into the game itself. Also remember, this is a non-extreme version of the ROG Ally that I've got here. It's also got a matte anti-glare screen on, so it might look a little bit different, but I thought it might be a little bit better for videos. So with the non-extreme version, normally what I do is I play games at 720p, so I get better performance. If you remember, a Steam Deck runs at 800p, so 720p is perfectly acceptable in a screen of this size. And the ROG Ally, all of them, they have this amazing variable refresh rate screen, which means that even at lower FPSs, it makes it look really smooth. So if you were like playing a game that was running at, say, 25 FPS on the Steam Deck and 25 FPS on the ROG Ally, it would look better on the ROG Ally. However, with the Assetto Corsa, it doesn't like 720p, so when we actually get into the gameplay, we're going to be running at 1080p, but it runs very nicely indeed. Now, don't be put off by thinking that Assetto Corsa is more of a serious sim, because it is. However, what I've found playing it is I've had an awful lot of fun, and the beauty of having a sim whereby you can set up the race exactly as how you want it. So you can go in and you can choose the car you want, you choose the track you want, and they're proper race tracks. You choose how many opponents you want, if any at all. You can change their how clever the AI are, although they're all pretty good. And you hit start, and then you're in a race. There's no messing around like in Forza Horizon, where you drive somewhere and then you start racing. Obviously, you're gonna have to be a bit more patient with the controls, because the cars are a lot more skitterish. A lot more sensitive, especially with the joypads on the ROG Ally. They're not the best, are they? But I would highly recommend Assetto Corsa. It may be an old game, but as you'll see, it looks great. I'm running it on medium settings. It runs great. And I think even for a casual race game, where you just want to pick up say for 15 minutes, you want to pick up your device, you want to load into a race and just play. So for this gameplay demo, we're going to be in a Ford Escort RS 1600 of all things. I think it's a Mark 1. Going around Monza with our opponents are going to be a load of other classic sort of cars. So there's going to be some really slow ones and some faster ones. So we just hit start. Now, what we do have to do is when we load in, I'm in the sort of desktop mode at the moment. I've got control of the mouse, so when we get to the grid, we need to swap over to gamepad mode fairly quick before the lights change, so we can actually go. So what it'll load in first is you can change some settings to start off with. As you'll see, it's just loading all the cars at the moment. I've got the FPS at the top, so you can keep an eye on that. You might be able to see it. So we click start there, and then we quickly go over to gamepad mode. Let's change the view so you can see. Let's get me a different grip. And what we'll do, we'll actually have quite a slow start. I won't chase him. I'm at the back of the grid, but we've got some Fiat 500s or something. So I'm not going to hammer my way past them, because I think one of the beauties of these games is it's all, you have the beauty of the time trial, don't you? But I really enjoy being in there, sort of overtaking people and looking at the other cars. One of my favourite things to do is, because I've got the Super Duper version with all the DLC, I've got like the Ferraris, so you can have like this Ferrari race where it's you in the Ferrari of your choice versus, in fact, let's change the view. Versus all these other Ferraris, like Formula 1 Ferraris from the 1960s, modern Formula 1 Ferraris, Ferrari supercars and things like that. And like this as well. I love this, the fact that there's a little Fiat there. Ooh, we can look at him like that. And then I think, is that an E-Type? Or what's that there? An old 1950s car. There's a lot of these Fiats. Let's get past them. I think there's a Ford Escort beetling off into the distance. But what we got? See, we're getting over 60 frames a second, and I think there's 20 opponents Oh, oh, oh God, I get in trouble for that. See, when I talk and play, I kind of struggle. So let's go back to this view so you can go again a bit more of a view. And obviously you can play how you want. The Escort can be a little bit of a handful going around some of these corners. It likes to be a bit twitchy because the tyres are a little bit skinny. Sounds great though. And the sound in this game is a highlight. Look, is really good. And you do have all these proper racetracks. Also, it does have, and this might be a big selling point to some people as well, it does have the Nürburgring as well. And not the, whoa, there goes the Porsche. It's got a lot more speed than we have. And it's not the, well, it does have the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, but it also has the classic Nürburgring. And what's really cool about that, I'm probably braking a little bit early for this, is that you start off in the car park. You start off in the car park and then you make your way through the car park, through the visitor centre kind of thing. There we go, let's flick to that view. And you get an amazing sense of speed like this. Really, really cool. And hopefully you get an idea of how excellent this game looks. I've been whizzing around here in Ferrari, so I don't really know the braking points for this Ford Escort. And one thing I would say as well is I've got the guide on that kind of gives you the racing line, but it's not, the colours on it, they're not dynamic in the same way they are in sort of more modern driving cars. So like it's green at the moment, basically means go as fast as you like. But when you come up to like the orange ones, which kind of means slow down, and red, which means, you know, brake, 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 it doesn't change when you're at the right speed. You know, like in Forza Horizon, when you're at the right speed, the red ones change to green, so you know you're going okay. That doesn't happen in here. So, for example, if I just brake, 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 brake here, you know, we've stopped before we've actually get to the junction. So you need to adjust your braking distances. Even though I was going a bit faster on that one. Oh no, we're on the gravel. For each car. Let's go back to that view there. The smoothness, I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic, this. It looks really, really, really nice. And what I've been doing, I've, just like I said in sort of in the intro, got a bit of a tank slapper on there. Overcompensating. What I've been doing, I just kind of fire this up. You know, just choose a track, Brands Hatch or something like that, and hammer around it for 10 minutes. You know, do a few laps, do a time trial, maybe sometimes by myself. It's really cool just doing time trials where it's just you versus the track, and you're just going around again and again and again, just learning the track and kind of getting faster and faster, hopefully anyway. Somebody in our rear view mirror. I'm not exactly on the racing line here. Let's let them overtake us before we slow right down. Here they come. There they go. The cars look so good in this game. Let's chase this guy. It's well known for its physics, and the reason, I think it came out in maybe was it 2010, this game? But the reason why it's still popular today is it's very moddable, so we can add mods to it should we wish. And the physics are always amazing, and the graphics are always amazing, and it runs on all sorts of systems, as you can see here. So there we go, there's a couple of laps of Monza in a Ford Escort. Now, when we get to here, what we'd have to do is go back to desktop mode, bring up the keyboard, press escape, get rid of the keyboard, and we could have another go, or we could exit, go back to the launcher where we can choose different things. But hopefully what you've seen there is Assetto Corsa looks great, runs great. I think it's a fantastic game, and because you can pick it up so cheap, and it's not that big either on your ROG Ally, I think it's almost like a must buy, even if you don't think you're really into racing games and haven't played them very often. I would say, because Assetto Corsa is so cheap and so easy to set up, the fact that you can say, I want this car, or I want this track, I don't want any opponents, or I want these opponents, hit start, and you can play. It really is very good indeed. Anyway, that's enough from me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and of course, I'll see you again soon.